Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're just joining for the first time, thank you so much for joining. Kindly support the page in any way that you can through your likes, subscription, comment, engagement, whatever that it is. I came across a video that I would really like to react to because I follow this person. One of her content just stood out to me. I started like 2 minutes and I thought I should do like a live reaction to it so I can give some pointers on some areas that I don't quite agree with. Her name is Sydney Watson and she's had some interesting takes over the years. I find her quite interesting. I believe she's a very intelligent person. And I also believe that sometimes we might have like interesting takes that need to be addressed and we can all just share our intellectual understanding on topics like that. So basically this video is about the Supergirl actress called Millie Alcock. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And I just want to give my live reaction to some of the points that she's made, which I believe have some kind of stretchy, overreaching undertones to it. But then again, without wasting your time, let's get straight into it. And if you like this video, just let me know in the comments below.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. You know, I really feel like it's been a minute since we've had an actor or actress burst onto the scene who's been as insufferable and annoying as Rachel Zegler. Weird. But, baby birds, fear not. We may finally have a contender.
Just a quick comment on that. I've actually followed Millie Alcock's career in a way, like watching interviews and behind the scenes and the rest of them. She seems like a really, really nice person when it comes to opinions, when it comes to respecting other people. So relating her to Rachel Zegler, it's more of a stretch for me. And funny enough, I like Sydney Watson a lot, like with her takes and some of her, perspectives and everything. But this one particularly just rubbed me off the wrong way.
Be upset just yet? It's not too late. You know, her time in the sun is just getting started. She's also Australian, so if you want to do some Australian-based insults, I will allow it. On this one single occasion. I much prefer it when you guys make fun of New Zealanders or Canadians.
So this is another thing I find quite strange about content creators. I'll call them content creators because we're all content creators. I'm not a fan of spreading hate and discrimination against people based on how they feel and how they have their own opinions. For example, you telling your viewers that you welcome insult and criticisms, or I don't know what that means. I'm just going to play it back for you to understand what she said here.
And the sun is just getting started. She's also Australian, so if you want to do some Australian-based insults, I will allow it.
I do not agree with encouraging people to insult other people, no matter the country or no matter if you're part of that country. It spreads a very unique form of discrimination and hate. Now, some people are mature enough to understand that it's just for jokes and just for laughs, but there are genuine people who are not like you, who are naturally hateful people, who see it as an opportunity to spread hate. If you go on Twitter right now and go on every social media, this lady is already getting enough hate before the movie even drops. I do not feel like it's wise and mature enough for you to keep encouraging that sort of thing. But that's the first thing that caught me off guard when watching this particular video. And she does it sometimes, I mean, in some of her content. But I'm like a very open-minded person and I try to look for the intellectual aspect or content of sharing ideas and sharing understanding. So that's one of the aches for me in this particular video. Not in all her videos, just this one.
On this one single occasion. I much prefer it when you guys make fun of New Zealanders or Canadians. They are completely fair game. Millie Alcock, who I'm going to call Millie in this video because I'm not sure how many times YouTube will let me say the word cock without having issue. She's the actress who is playing Supergirl in the new Supergirl and has been doing her own press junket for this film, given that it is soon to hit cinemas. If it matters, and I'm not sure if it does, Supergirl is a DCU movie adapted from the 2022 comic Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And it follows a girl called Kara, who is an alien, who is sent on a journey of revenge and justice and brings her dog along, I don't know.
So another interesting thing about this is that for you to jump on content like this, if you're going to cover something as sensitive as this movie or this actress, you should do like a lot of research. The Supergirl movie has like a huge backstory to it, like following the adaptation and a lot of stuff. So when I hear people give their surface level, shallow opinions on this particular topic, it bothers me a lot. I keep asking the question, like, have you done your research? Have you read about the book? Have you seen anything that really describes the story? Have you really done so much research about the story? A lot of people don't really do their research. So it kind of made me feel sad that she didn't really do so much research before doing this video. I, for one, I'm not a fan of that, and I just want to speak for what's right. But it's fine. This is not even the main part of the video, but let's just get into it.
He appeared in the last Superman movie and added absolutely nothing to the story. So that's fun.
That's another one. You can't say she's part of the Superman movie and added nothing to the story. If we did not see her at the end of the movie, we won't be expecting a Supergirl movie. And it does tie it into it, like creating a relationship between Superman and Supergirl. But that's just me who is paying attention to the source material, which is Superman 2025. So it's a really, really sensitive space. And I really hope people get to learn not to, even if everyone is jumping on the bandwagon of hate or the hate train, don't be like everyone. Try and stand out intellectually. I know it's kind of the trend to hate on certain stuff for the sake of hating, but for me, it just rubs me off the wrong way.
So during her press interviews, Millie has made a series of comments about this film that not only have people raising an eyebrow, but also, in my opinion at least, feel very, very Rachel Zegler coded.
It's Hollywood, baby.
During this recent interview, for example, the journalist says that Millie's character Kara is a queer icon and asks her why she thinks so many LGBT fans see themselves in this character. Millie, who honestly seems to be quite drunk here, answers that she's played other roles with potentially queer storylines, and she's honored that people think of her this way.
How do you know she's drunk though? Like, because she's expressive, she's excited for a movie coming out. It's pretty weird how... It's strange. It's not weird. It's very, very strange. I've been in a situation where I'm very, very excited about something coming out, like a project of mine or something. And I've gotten that kind of feedback where people just assume, oh, there's something wrong with this person because it's expressive. Like, there is no evidence to point out that this person is drunk. There is no evidence to point out that this person is on any substance or whatever. She's just being herself. And we live in a world where being yourself is more of a crime and a problem for people, like inconveniences other people because they just don't react the way you react, or they just don't understand you and they feel like you need to comport yourself in a way that makes them comfortable in a world of 7 billion people with different personalities, different natures. It's strange. Like I said, I've done my research on Millie Alcock, how she is. She's a very fun person, and it's very, very strange to make that assumption based off on how she's reacting in that interview. But it gets deeper.
Yes, unfortunately, this is one of those answers.
Over the years, many fans have embraced Supergirl as a queer icon. What do you think is about Kara that inspires that kind of connection? I think I played a few characters that might have a potential queer through line. I have many queer friends, so honestly, I'm kind of honored. I'm honored that that's happening. But
am I wrong that she seems kind of drunk here?
Yes, you're wrong. It's as clear as day that you're wrong. For one, if you're excited about your project that's going to be seen by millions of people, not in fact billions of people, you'll be excited, you'll be fun. It's like when they're asking you about something that is dear to you, something that you worked on, you will be excited. You will be who you are. And the question here was framed from a perspective of someone who is asking. Like she said, many fans are trying to like put the queer identity on Supergirl. For one, she's answering a question. So it's basically in the context of what the fans believe it to be. And she's like, you know what? I have queer friends. It's not a big deal. Like, I mean, I'm buying into the idea if she's queer, she's not forcing the idea. She's not forcing the opinion that it's queer or anything. So it's strange to me how a lot of people let their biases interpret every single situation. For one, if you're looking for a red car, you definitely see a red car. If you don't pay attention, you will not even notice that the red car is there. You will see a red car where there is no red car. Even if it's a wine color, you call it a red car, even if the car is wine. So I think that's what Sydney is doing here. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense why you would assume that this person is drunk. Makes no sense to me.
Goes on to say that Supergirl doesn't live inside the binary of gender expectations, and then alludes to her character being LGBT, saying that she'd do what she wants to do in the sexuality regard, anyway.
I think because she doesn't live inside the binary of what we think a woman should be, that is what makes her so special and so exciting and so new. And yeah, I kind of thought that as well. I was like, she'd do what she'd want to do.
So if you listen to what she's describing in the context of them asking her a question about queer and LGBT, it is within that context. They're trying to understand, like a particular set of fan demographic is asking, okay, because maybe they're the LGBT demographic right now. They're just trying to link Supergirl to like a queer, and she's being polite. She's trying to like, you know what? If it works for you, it works for you. But then again, her answer is basically objective. She's saying, according to the source material, Supergirl isn't your typical feminine-ish Supergirl like what you expect from a normal feminine kind of superhero. She's basically lawless. She's basically a rogue kind of superhero. She's not like Superman. And that's why I said if you did like more research on this particular character, it makes it more easier for you to understand where she's coming from and how she's answering. So this is more of like an overreach for me. Like I said, it bothers me because we live in a world of hate and criticism. And yes, I can hate and have no consequences because I have freedom of my expression and freedom of opinion. But you're molding the future generation of how they see the world and how they interpret information. For me and for so many other people who understand communication, because I just study communication, she's basically being objective. She's basically answering the question from a place of understanding the fan base, the demographic. I'm pretty sure if a straight person who is conservative asks her a question, oh, do you think Supergirl believes in love? She will answer that too. Probably she loves crypto. She loves the girl she's trying to protect. She will answer that in context of what the question is. So like I said, this is a very, very sensitive topic for me because I do like Sydney Watson. But this one, it's just weird.
God, anyway, but yeah, thank you.
I honestly have no idea why these kind of questions come up and why this generation of journalists and media personalities is completely obsessed with sexuality and with whom you are doing the devil's tango. Nobody, and I mean nobody, cares.
I believe that a lot of people care, and this is me not trying to pick a side here, and this is not me trying to pander to a particular demographic, but I have conservative values, but I won't let my conservative values overshine someone else's way of life, because the truth is, whether we like it or not, we're all human beings living on a floating rock, spinning around the sun. And in like 300 years, nobody's going to remember me. Nobody's going to remember you. It's just going to be part of the data of people who have lived and come and gone. But what you can do is make the current living situation with every other person decent and comfortable. Make it easier for your children. Make it easier for everybody. That being said, them framing this question is from a particular demographic. They're asking a question from a particular fan base. The LGBT is asking a question. Now, if you want to attack the LGBT for asking that question, go ahead, cool. But when you're trying to frame it on a particular person who is just doing a job, who is trying to be more polite than you are, it's sad. Yes, our hearts are in the right place. We are trying to do the right thing. We are trying to pass the right values. But in a way, we are also being part of the problem because we're not living like a good example of what love is meant to be. And that's why a lot of people might, misinterpret our actions to be more from a place of hate and discrimination and just toxic, conservatism.
Talking points that doesn't actually exist in reality, but is being recycled by outlets over and over again, because when I was researching for this video, I didn't really find anybody else talking about this, but I found a bunch of outlets had basically almost verbatim written the same thing about this queer thought process, queer thing that's going on here. Supergirl has long carried significance for women, queer fans, and gender diverse readers who see in Kara's story a narrative of self-definition, carving out an identity separate from Superman. I don't even know what this means. I don't even think these writers know what this means.
I know what it means. What it means is there's a faction of people who feel like and who genuinely believe, just like you and I and everybody else who genuinely have opinions and a reality that they live in. They genuinely believe that their voices are not being heard. They genuinely believe they're not being represented well in the media. They're not being represented properly in society when it comes to movies, when it comes to music. There's a patriarchal aspect of seeing things, right? They might be wrong. They might be living in their own little bubble. I agree sometimes with that. There's an extreme to that. But the truth is this. When you see an opportunity to be heard, this is one of those opportunities. You have a film called Supergirl, not Superman. Superman has come. A lot of people identify with that. In fact, they're happy with it. Some are not. They still have their criticisms. A lot of people find Supergirl to be a symbol of identity, a symbol of feminism, a symbol of femininity. Okay, it's fine. We have a female superhero superhero who are all going to support in the box office, who are going to hear a story and everything. So it's quite natural to lean into that, should I say, opportunity, to lean into the idea that this person can stand for what they are. Now it's up to whoever is answering the questions, it's up to whoever is in that space to give them what they want to hear or what they need to hear, or make them feel special, make them feel like, yeah, you're needed, you're wanted, you're part of, we're not excluding you. We're not like saying this movie is not for you if you're queer or you're in the LGBT. It's also for you if you feel like she identifies with you. Cool. That's basically what it's saying. So it's not like they are creating this and they're just trying to force a narrative. They're just trying to belong. And this is coming from someone who is highly conservative in certain areas. But I won't really call myself a conservative person. I think I'm just an open-minded person who believes in the right things. And the right things also includes being objective, being open-minded, the right way, not being the extreme end of just hate and toxicness.
In this interview, she is asked again about this queerness, queer icon situation, and whether she explored that when preparing for this role. Millie's answer here made me think of Rachel Zegler's infamous interview where she said that this movie isn't centered around a man. Obviously. It's called Supergirl. She finishes this statement off by saying that there is no love story in this film and that her character, Kara, probably goes both ways. She's referring to bisexuality here.
Discussion online about Kara's queerness in the comics. Was that something that you explored when you were preparing for the role?
It wasn't, but in honor of Pride Month, as I'm getting all these questions, I don't know. I think that what makes this film so beautiful is that it's not centered around a man. It's not centered around love at all.
It's quite... So I don't know if we are losing our ability to assimilate information, but she said it's not about that at all. And if you look directly at the thumbnail here, it says Queerly Radio. So it's obviously like an LGBT kind of media, right? They're trying to like I said earlier, be part of this movie, trying to connect with this movie and try to connect the fan base with this movie. Cool. So she's definitely going to answer in a way. But what I'm trying to say is this. She's saying this has nothing to do with love at all. It has nothing to do with men, gender, women, nothing. It's just a fun movie. It's just about her. She's basically telling you about the character that she's playing because she's read the script, she's acted it, she's basically the one. She's basically Supergirl. She's telling you this is not about whether your sexuality, love or not. But you know what? If it works for you, she can swing both ways. If that's what works for you, if you interpret it that way, awesome. So that's basically what she's saying. So I don't know how they reach to... Is this like a foreign thing? I don't know. You guys just let me know in the comments. I feel like it's a foreign thing.
If anything,
yeah.
But we'll see. I don't really know, but I don't know.
She basically admits that she doesn't know. She doesn't know. In fact, she doesn't know means that her mind didn't even go there. Like, you guys are asking these questions. You know what? I don't even know. Maybe she can swing both ways, but she never even 100% agreed and said, oh yeah, she's queer, she's gay, or no, she just doesn't know. Like, this character is just meant to be a fun character, and I actually don't see anything wrong with this. It's really crazy how a lot of people are just hating for hating's sake, like, just hating for hating. Like, it's crazy.
I don't know.
It's great.
She'd probably go both ways.
Actually, that's a bit rude by 2026 standards. There's no binary. There's 72,000 genders. Bigot.
She just called her a bigot. And that was just an opportunity to talk about binaries and 72 other genders. And I think that was one of the ways I kind of went off this video. And for me, that was my last... I'll call it my last straw, but at that point I was like, oh yeah, you're just hating for hating, because there was no need to call this person a bigot, and it's clear that you're just hating for hating. I'm personally going to end the video here because that's where I actually stopped, and I know that moving from that point on, it's not going to really say anything I'm not going to be expecting from her. At that point, it's clear that the video is specifically directed to a particular demographic that's going to, if you check the comments, they were all siding and insulting and just going, having a field day. I personally think it's healthy. I personally didn't think it's the right way to go in this current society and this current generation. If you have issues with people and their opinions, address their opinions and bring out, intellectual, understanding. Like, argue these things intellectually. You don't have to attack their identity. You don't have to attack them as people. This is just an actress doing a job, trying to be peaceful with everybody. And you made, how many minutes is this video? 26 minutes. Probably more than mine once I'm done. Like, it's more than my video. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. I personally don't like roll this kind of content, but I know everybody has a voice and everything. But let me know in the comments what you think. Is this too much, or are we just, overreacting, or am I just overreacting? See you guys later. See you guys next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like this content. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.